I am introducing this next segment from my latest Healing Through the Heart hypnosis client. This client, she's so powerful, and I want to thank her right now for allowing me to put an edit on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. These session segments, they help so many people come to my YouTube channel and they want to know what it is, this quantum hypnosis is, and they're able to see little snippets of people's sessions. So in this segment, her session, she wanted to know her star origins, and she's learning about her Pleiadian origins in this. She talks with her guides, but learns that she's only had 2 lives on planet Earth, and she needed some clarity on her most recent life before her current one, her past life as a woman in the early 20th century. Yeah. It's just a powerful past life regression. She learned about her second life as well. That the details on that life are left out for personal reasons. They're very, very personal, and they are very much affecting her current life. So we got down to the root cause of all of that. But we really went into her life between lives and talked with her guides and got her star origins. And we went into her body. And her higher selves found some interesting energies that were giving her physical problems. So just a really powerful session. And I really feel like you're going to benefit a lot by watching this. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to thank my producer, Joe Pena of Joe Pena Productions, for his professional edit. He's amazing. Thank you, Joe. And if you're interested in audio and video professional quality production with very strong spiritual energy to it, please hit up Joe. He's the best. So thank you so much for tuning into this session segment. And if you want your own Healing Through the Heart hypnosis session with me, if you're interested in my life coaching group, or having a mini session, which I do online, all of it's online, then my website will be at the end of this session. Thank you so much for tuning in. And up into the light. And tell me when you see the light all around you. Yes, good. You know, your guides are all around you. And your counsel's around you. Your higher self is here. What was the purpose of your life as Olina? What did you learn about yourself in that life?
I learned about suffering, and about the mechanisms of control and power struggles of the human race. The polarities of segregation and I had to do this pain thing because I wasn't going to be here. I had to get it all done like ripping off a Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm. So now why did you choose on a soul level to experience the suffering, the mechanisms of control, the power structures, struggles of the human race, segregation? Why did you want to learn that?
I had to feel the pain because I come from the light, and all I know is the bliss of that. And it had to solidify myself into this paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
so that I could have a reference point, a way to understand human suffering and pain and have it be real, not just an imprinted lifetime. Because I watched all the movies and all the imprints. I got all the hundreds and thousands of imprinted lifetimes to come into this lifetime so that I could have the catalog of experiences of what it is to be human. But I needed one really strong, really painful, really hard lifetime to like hit it home, I guess.
Where did you watch these thousands of movies and get imprints? Where did you watch them from before you came into the life?
I came in from the seventh dimension.
Tell me about that. Came in from the seventh dimension. What is the seventh dimension experience like?
It's the realm of light and pure bliss.
Are you in physical form there?
No.
Is this your original space that you come from? Or is there another origin for your soul?
Yes and no. And yes. I don't know how to answer that question because the origin of the soul is...
Well, let's put it this way. When Source created you as an individual soul in order to learn for Source, where did you first have your first conscious memory from being
I was
separate?
a rock, and then I was an ant, and I was a leaf and a tree, and I was all those things.
Very good. And where were all these places? Was this Earth? Was this other planets, other star systems, other simulations? Say that again. Sirius. So was your first conscious awareness in Sirius?
I moved up from the first dimension to all the way to the sixth dimension in Sirius. Sirius A and B.
Very good. And how many lives have you had in the Sirius star system? Tell me the first number that comes in.
100.
Very good. And
but the lifetimes are so long. So long. Nothing like Earth.
Nothing like Earth. They're long lifetimes, yes. And so your soul family, are they predominantly from Sirius or are they from other star systems as well?
They're from other star systems than Sirius. I collected them as I went along.
So what other star systems are you from?
Arcturus.
And how many lifetimes have you had? Can we focus on Arcturus for a moment? How many lifetimes have you had in Arcturus star system?
0.
And where else? What other star systems have you existed in?
I don't understand it.
What don't you understand?
I feel Arcturus, but I don't feel any lifetimes.
It's okay. Arcturus is an experience that many of us have. Just accept that Arcturus is there. What other star systems have you experienced life in?
Andromeda, but only because I visited there from Sirius.
And what were you doing visiting Andromeda? What was the purpose of going there?
Exploration, science, scientist, or something like that.
Scientist. And
maybe an explorer, geologist, or I don't know. That's what I get.
Very good. Very good.
I mated with an Andromeda.
You mated with an Andromeda. Tell me about that.
We didn't have a life together. It was just moment, I guess.
You were creating together.
Yes.
How did you create through the mating? Can you describe that for me?
It's the energetic energy. I just see energy swirling in and out in infinite spiral. Like creating something new from that.
Beautiful. That sounds amazing. And so, how did you come to Earth?
I needed we had the call.
Who called you?
The Federation.
The Federation? Tell me more about the Federation.
It is helping humanity to birth itself into a new vibratory level, and Earth, and through the facilitation of the harvest, we're facilitating the harvest.
Tell me about the harvest. What does that mean?
The transference of the vibrations and where the consciousness is going for the different human souls we facilitate. We facilitate their transition.
And where is humanity transitioning into?
Humanity is going in many different places.
Many different places?
Some will die. Many will die, and some will just be in the third dimension, but somewhere else, because Earth cannot hold three-dimensional bodies for a time. It will not be able to sustain the three-dimensional bodies. There will be a transition where the three-dimensional bodies will be able to exist and walk the Earth, but it will not be a very long period of time. We're talking maybe 100 years or less. And then they will die and they will go back into the third dimension again. This will be many lost, in fact. And then there will be a percentage that will go into the transitionary, and they are already transitioning into the fourth dimension, but this will be some facilitation with the ships, some facilitation. There will be some that will stay on Earth, but very few will be here for that.
Who am I speaking with right now, please? Who is this?
The Syrian Council. Syrian Council member.
Syrian Council member. Are you Jaina's Syrian Council member? Or are you a higher aspect of Jaina?
Both is true.
Okay, that's what I felt. Thank you. Do you have a name that I can refer to you as?
Ella.
Say that again, please.
E-L-E. Ella.
E-L-E and what else?
I want to say Elohim, but that's not it. Elohijin or L-E-G something.
L-E-G. Elohijin? Does that sound correct? No. How about if I call you E? Will that do for now? L?
Ellie, you can call me.
I can call you Ellie. Thank you so much, Ellie. Thank you. Jaina has some questions, and she would like some answers to them. Would this be an appropriate time to ask you those questions?
Yes.
Thank you so much. She says she feels that she's had a couple of lifetimes on Earth. Can you please tell her how many lifetimes on Earth she's had? How many human lives has she had?
She knows how many human lives she had.
Can you say it out loud so that she can hear it in the recording?
She had 2 lifetimes.
2 lifetimes on Earth. Okay, before.
One in ancient Greece.
Mm-hmm.
and one as a leader.
Mm-hmm. One in ancient Greece. Very good. And what other lifetimes has she experienced on other planets? She's had many lifetimes in Sirius. Has she had lifetimes in Arcturus and Andromeda?
It doesn't appear so.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Has she been physical much, or has she been more frequency, more higher frequency and less density?
She was recently seventh dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Recently seventh dimensional. Thank you so much. She wants to know where her soul comes from. You say that her soul comes from Sirius.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
She was the rocks and the birds and all of the different. She experienced all of the many, many life forms of Sirius.
Mm-hmm. She's been mer beings as well, mer people.
Right.
Has she been mermaids, mermen?
Oh, I don't see this.
Has she been dolphins or whales, perhaps?
Yes, there were some aquatic beings.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Aquatic beings. So she wants to know about the ascension process here on Earth. Can you please explain to her what the ascension process is? How do we ascend here?
Balance. You have to balance the polarities of the dualistic realm of third dimension. As you balance the polarities and move in towards the light, you go into the higher dimensions. Unfortunately, you can't really explain what it's like until you're there.
Mm-hmm. So where is she at in her ascension? Can you share that with her?
Her body is in the third dimension. She is struggling with old programs and cultural appropriations that she's dissolving at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really the only things that are holding her back from reaching into the upper fourth dimension. And she will live for 1,000 years
Mm-hmm.
with this body, but it will transmute into something else.
So, Elle, can we dissolve some of those old programs that she is struggling with right now?
Yes. Yes.
She desires help. And will this help her to struggle to dissolve the old 3D programming in her cells and in her brain?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you start that dissolving, that dissolution now, please? And tell me when it is that that is dissolved, when the programs have been dismantled.
Ancestral. And the DNA. She has to repair the DNA.
Mm-hmm. And how are you going to repair the DNA so that she knows?
Light codes, crystalline could work.
Okay.
Light codes.
So you're bringing in light codes now into her DNA.
Yes, there's an old reptilian domination and fear.
Mm-hmm. Is that what's blocking her? She's blocked.
No.
Okay, let's deal with this first, then we'll deal with the blocking after. All right? Let's dissolve the old programs, and please bring in that crystalline diamond light code, and let me know when those new programs have been uploaded into her cells and into her brain system.
This has begun. It will take time.
Has it started?
Yes.
Very good. Do I have your word, Elle, that you will continue to dissolve the 3D programs and upload the Diamond Light Code programs, especially as she sleeps at night when it's easier, as long as it takes? Do I have your word you will do that?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Elle. She wants to know what's going to happen with herself when the flash comes. It's going to happen with her first through the flash.
And the ship
What about the ship?
is waiting for her.
Mm-hmm. And which ship is waiting for her?
The Syrian ship.
Mm-hmm. And what will happen? The flash will come and what will happen when the flash comes?
To be taken there, and she will be in a state of sleep for a time.
Mm-hmm.
There will be some healing, integration, upgrades in order to wake up in a new realm. You have to go through the upgrades and the assimilation of new information. This will be a chamber that she will enter, and there she will be for a time.
Very powerful. What will happen with humanity when the flash comes?
Many will die.
Mm-hmm.
Many will. But I want her to know that it's not anything to worry about, and it's nothing to fear, because everything is happening as it should. And even if only 10% of the harvest is successful, this is still more than enough to carry on the mission with the human body experiment.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell her more about that human body experiment?
It is the greatest achievement that we have ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Who is doing it? Who's doing the human body experiment?
It is a collective.
Mm-hmm.
It is a collective. It is many races of many alien races, many terrestrials all coming together, seeding into one to create one unified being of light. It is going to be amazing. It will be able to experience and do things that any race individually has never been able to do.
Mm-hmm. When is this flash supposed to be occurring?
Sooner than expected.
Mm-hmm. Was this pushed off for a while? Was it supposed to come earlier?
Light bubbles, there's big spheres out in space.
Mm-hmm.
Big, giant, energetic spheres that are holding it off.
Mm-hmm. Why are they holding it off?
But really, this flash is going to come from inside of the earth.
Mm-hmm. It's coming in from inside of the earth. How does it do that?
The energy of the earth and the frequency is going to be building up and up and up. And it will blast from the inside out, from the outside in.
Mm-hmm. And so for those of us who are holding a higher frequency, what will we be experiencing?
There will be a mass evacuation plan. There is a mass evacuation plan in effect.
Mm-hmm. So for those of us that are here on a mission from the Galactic Federation, we will be brought on board ship.
Yes.
And for those that aren't, they will lose their body.
Some will die and go into some, like my mother, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
She's so worried about her ascension. She will die and she will go to the fifth dimension immediately in another place.
Mm-hmm.
And he will just have to die and do the death and rebirth process. But this is not the end, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no sadness about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you so much. So Jana experiences incredible loneliness. She wants to know why it's so difficult for her to form community and to maintain friendships.
The humans are not ready for community. They are not at the right frequency. They have not addressed their interpersonal issues in a way that they can unify and be in a unified state with one another. So therefore, community is not impossible, but painful.
Mm-hmm.
And so she doesn't want, if she's existing in a higher dimension and holding the frequency, then having the karmic process of being in community, being in the pain of third dimensional community is not going to be beneficial for her.
Mm-hmm. So when will conscious communities start to form then? Will this happen after the flash?
It will start to form soon. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Her community is already chosen and events are in place, but the issue is of this time period and the lifting of the veil and the frequency shifting in a way that people are more empathic and feeling each other.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
They need to feel each other. They need to. The only reason that war and strife and all of the constructs of events, the painful events and the masks and all of this is happening and being allowed to play out is because the human beings are not feeling one another.
Mm-hmm.
And as the vibration of the earth is shifting into higher dimension, higher frequencies, then humans will naturally be able to feel each other, and as they feel each other, they will be more unified and more empathic and compassionate for each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very good. Thank you for that. That's very clear. She has been incredibly lonely in this lifetime. Why does she experience such loneliness?
Because she chose to be this way so that she would have a more strong and firm connection with the beings of light that are around her at all times, to forge those relationships and connections with the ethereal realms and the nature realms in a better way, as the connections with the humans are too painful.
Mm-hmm. Why can't she attract more light workers who are awake and are also connected to all of their higher vibrational family? Why can't she connect with those people now?
She wasn't ready in her journey to do that, but now she will be.
Mm-hmm. So now she'll be attracting more light workers who are awake and awakening?
She's doing this, yes.
Good. So her light mission, she wants to know, is she a part of the Galactic Federation?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. Does she represent the Syrian Council?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So what does this mean then? She represents.
She has been working with the Syrians for some time and their exploration of the planets, and she was actually in one of her lifetimes. She was a Syrian scientist.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the Syrian scientists that planted the seed of humanity here. So she has been watching this thing unfold.
Mm-hmm. So the Syrian scientists, the Syrians, they are a part of the original creators of the humans, yes?
Yes.
Did they co-create with other soul groups in order to create the humans?
Not in the beginning. In the beginning, it was just a seeding from the Syrian race, and then other races mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became co-creational as other teams of scientists and even other alien races landed and inhabited the human race.
So then they started to mix.
Yes.
There was a hybridization that happened then.
Yes.
Thank you. She wants to know more about this mission and why she's in the Portland, Oregon area.
It's very dark here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
It's one of the darkest and heaviest vibratory places to be in America right now.
So why are we all here? So many light workers are here, including myself. Why?
Because we have to pull the thorn out.
Mm-hmm. What's the thorn?
The dark underbelly, the Archon negative grid work that has been placed here to siphon off energy to the dark realms, and we're here to literally break apart the dark grid work and close the dark portals, and to bring the awareness and the healing and the understanding of all the dark things that have happened here.
Mm-hmm. What has happened here? What's happened in this area?
Human slavery,
Mm-hmm.
sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm. It's very dark. I know I've been working on it myself for decades now. So, well, how can we accelerate this, pulling that up and bringing it to light in the Pacific Northwest area?
You can intend it on your walks.
Mm-hmm.
You can continue what you're doing because it's all well and good.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So, is she going to be finished with the Portland area anytime soon?
Her time is coming to an end
Mm-hmm.
in the next year.
Mm-hmm. Will she be leaving in 2021?
She will find something to move towards, but it will take time and a process to get there.
So can you share with her about her business in 2021? How is her business flowing coming up in the next few months?
There's a pressure, building pressure. All of this intention and manifestation. It's just there. It's about to explode and come into a multiplicity of fruitions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the dark forces are in the old grid work, the old negative grid work and the portals. Everything that's here is holding people back, and people are in fear. And they are not choosing love right now because they are confused.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But once that, and this is actually true for across the country for her business, not just at the shop,
Okay.
but even in the online sales and in road trips.
Mm-hmm.
And she should go to the Midwest, and she will find her way there. She will find her path up through Oklahoma and around the red states.
Mm-hmm.
And to please avoid Colorado and California.
Why avoid Colorado and California?
The reptilian control is too intense there, and the small businesses are not recovering.
Mm-mm. Is that why the fires were really started there?
The fires are started by the deep state and by the dark ones to push the narrative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That confirms what I have felt as well. So she senses that she's activated a third strand of DNA, and the fourth strand will be activated in the year 2020. So what does this activation mean? Explain that to her.
Greater empathic abilities, greater abilities to ascertain and discern your answers that you seek. You are distorted because your ego is continuing to bud itself into your channeling abilities. And so as you ascend and get to your fourth strand of DNA, you will be able to, your third eye will open and your crown chakra, and you will be so clear as to who and what and you are speaking with and what is speaking through you. You will see this thing with so much clarity, and it will bring you great peace. And you will also see see the dark forces and the structuring of that mechanism, and how it works and how it operates, and all the different details of that, and everything will become more and more clear.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you for that. Now she's got a self-judgment issue that she's dealing with, and the feeling physically
Oh, and I just want to say one more thing.
Please do, yes.
The other strands.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will come in its time, and as you master yourself, and also as the earth masters its own vibratory frequencies, the strands of DNA will come together, and that junk DNA that you call junk will no longer be junk.
Mm-hmm.
And this will happen, and believe it or not, the next 5 years, we will be assimilating many more of ourselves back together again.
Beautiful. Wow. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there anything else on the DNA that we need to know?
No.
Okay. Her self-judgment and feeling physically unattractive now, as Olina in the life before this one. It feels like it started there, but can you please clarify if that is the root life where the self-judgment and the physical unattractiveness began?
It began in the ancient Greek life, actually.
Okay, can you take her back to that ancient Greek life, please, and show her herself? Is she male or female in that
male, and I was just the limitation. I was my first lifetime my first lifetime in Earth's body, and it was so painful to know, to feel that, to feel the limitations and the mental fog and the shrouded darkness that you feel to be human.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing really so painful about that life, actually. It was a very boring and simple existence.
Was it just being in density that was so difficult?
It's just hard to be in the density and the self-acceptance of the vibratory level that we've chosen to inhabit is very hard, knowing that we come from the stars.
Mm-hmm. So can we heal that self-judgment of being in the human body and being in a low frequency? Can we heal that today, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you like to use a color frequency or white light in order to heal that image and that perception?
I'm seeing the rainbow.
Beautiful. Right. You use the rainbow frequency to heal the perception and the frequency of the Greek life. And let me know when that is complete.
It's a healing of the ego.
It's a healing of the ego.
The separation from the unity consciousness.
And will the rainbow frequency help to heal the ego?
No.
What will help to heal the ego?
Love and bless the ego and ask it to step aside.
Can we do that now, please?
I have to do this in the moment that I feel it. The moment that I feel the judgment, I have to bless my ego and ask it to step aside.
So this is a practice that she needs to do at any moment that the ego comes up and tries to take control.
Yes.
Very good. And a very good practice that is for everyone, I would say. Very good. She wants to know about her parallel lives.
And yes, she is right about the thoughts being inserted. About the judgment thoughts.
Yes.
She's right about that.
They are inserted?
There are many inserted thoughts from the reptilian dominion.
Right.
They will try every maneuver, any weakness that they find.
Right.
They can jump in there.
Yes. Now, before we get into that, and we'll go into that when we go into the body, let's dive into parallel lives and imprinting. She wants more information on parallel lives and imprinting. Can you give that to her, please?
Yes. So sometimes you feel that you have a feeling of a parallel life, but it's actually really just a life that you imprinted on before you came into the body. And so there's some confusion there as you're trying to reconcile that you can't, there's no karma to be reconciled with an imprinted lifetime. You have to remember that, and that you not accidentally take karma on, or feel that you have karma where it's not there because you feel there's a memory or a feeling towards a person or an event or a thing related to, because sometimes it's just because you imprinted that lifetime. And the parallel lives are being collapsed now. And in fact, whereas 4 years ago you had 7, you have 3 that you are working with.
3 parallel lives that you're working with?
Yes. And they will collapse back down, and you will unify into the one life as you continue to do your work.
Well, that certainly makes sense, I feel.
Yes.
So, spiritual warfare. She wants to know. She gets heavy psychic attacks. She wants to know how she can protect and clear herself through spiritual warfare and psychic attacks.
You have to. It's really good when you're on the airplane and you saw the vision of the clanging of the gold, like it's like this brass gold clanging sound, like really loud and bright and loud and bright. If you do the brass, like the golden, piercing golden light, and it's like clanging on. Clinging on metal.
And that will stop the psychic attacks when she hears that and visualizes it?
She visualizes that. She can protect herself very quickly and very strongly.
Very good. So she wants to understand about the spiritual war. What is the spiritual war that's happening right now?
It's a dominion of control with the ancient the ancient Anunnaki, the Anunnaki,
Mm-hmm.
they are the fallen beings. They are a family. They came and ruled theirs. And there's been this dominion of the darkness, and then as the gods and the demigods fell in frequency because they came from light. They're the planet X, the one that's circling us now and coming closer back. Those beings, most of them, have ascended off into the higher dimensions of light, and the ones that were left over came to control.
Mm-hmm.
The reptilians came as in tandem with the Anunnaki
Mm-hmm.
descendants, and there have been, as they fell in frequency, the Archon network was put into place. The Archon network is the one that holds the 3D matrix,
Mm-hmm.
the negative 3D matrix in place, as well as all positive. It's the 3D matrix. We'll just put it that way. The easiest way to understand it. And the reptilians are the slaves to the reptilians are here are held in the fourth density.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing their dance of dominion and control.
And that's finishing now, isn't it?
They are being put in quarantine. In fact, on September 21st, there was a grand shift in the frequency to the point, and they cannot do harm to us anymore. By contractual law, they are barred from harming us, and many of them are being put into quarantine now. So the Archon network, the negative grid work that is siphoning off the thing that feeds the Archon network is the fear and the suffering and all the negative emotions that are feeding us. That this entire grid work is actually dissolving in the higher light of the fifth dimensional frequencies, the fifth dimensional grid, and the grid from the solar sun is also coming down and dissolving and creating a new, more pure and unified grid work of light that humans can interact with. And there will be a time where the humans will be in fear and pain and suffering still, because that is the programming and that is the only thing that they know. But in fact, they are in a cage with the door wide open. And they can go at any time, but they don't understand this because they are trapped in their own psychic, their own psychic, how do you say? Sorry.
They're trapped in their own fear.
Yes, it's like
a bird that's been caged and you give it freedom, but it doesn't know how to be free.
Yes.
Is it like that?
Yes.
Yes. I've gotten that image as well for all of them, the dark ones. They don't know anything higher. Very good. Very helpful.
No, not the dark ones. We're talking about the humans.
We're talking about the humans.
The dark ones are being gathered up.
Right. It's the humans that are not used to being at a higher frequency and they're looping, and so they want to continue looping.
Spinning out and they're losing their minds because they have existed for so long at such a low frequency that they don't know how to be in a higher frequency.
Okay.
And in fact, many of them are going to go crazy.
Well, they are currently. Many of them are going crazy, definitely.
And so we, as light workers, we just have to keep loving them.
That's where that compassion comes in. So she wants to know, how can she further develop and fine-tune her channeling abilities? She's channeling right now. Can you please really emphasize her state of being currently as she channels, so that she feels this level of relaxation and this level of
to put her ego in the corner.
Yes, it is that. Telling the ego it's a child and it needs to learn and to be quiet.
don't channel about mundane things. You have to trust yourself and your ability to move through this world, and that you have all the things that you need for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You had all the answers. You only lack the confidence and the trust.
Mm-hmm. So how can you give her more confidence right now for her channeling abilities specifically? How can you give her more confidence?
She has to give that to herself. I hear that the heart, there has to be some heart healing. She has some armors, big thick armor, and it's preventing her from hearing the message from the heart to the brain instead of from the brain to the heart, because everything, she must realize there is no God without, as much as there is a God within, and all the answers, they come from the inside out, not from the outside in. So she channels the wrong direction because she doesn't trust and believe in her own love and her own infinite God self that exists inside, from the inside out.
And so how can you help her today to trust her source, her God within? How can you help her with that today?
She has to remember the armor.
What is the armor? What is it?
Old pain, shame, guilt.
Mm-hmm. From the 2 lifetimes on Earth? Is that where it's coming from, or is it coming from deeper?
From this one, the one with Eliana was a big deal, the sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good, and that will help her move forward.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to develop a loving, trusting relationship with the earth. She doesn't trust.
How can she do that?
She doesn't trust to be grounded on the earth because the third dimension has been so invasive and painful.
Mm-hmm. How can she ground herself more on planet Earth right now?
She can do that now more than ever, because now that the Archon grid work is dissolving and the 5th dimensional grid is coming up, she will be able to feel safe and loved for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And held by the Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. She always felt that the earth wasn't her home, and so there was no way to feel the love of Mother Earth if the earth isn't your home.
Mm-hmm.
But the earth is your home, and the galaxy is your home, and all is. You have to remember that
everything is our home. Wherever we're at home. Her body is her home.
And she doesn't feel home in this body because she came from the star.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to go back and feel the bliss, the absolute ecstasy of that existence. And there's no bliss or ecstasy to be had here, hardly.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's how the frequency
raises. Mm-hmm. Understandable. I feel that many of us feel that way. She wants to know, what are the core issues behind her alcohol problem? Where does that come from?
Escaping
mm-hmm.
the pain.
The
problem is that what she is realizing is that she can't escape the pain through the alcohol because it's more painful. The whole process of drinking ends up being so much more painful than just facing the regular dull pain of just regular existence.
Mm-hmm. So
The
how
pain
can
gets sharper. Maybe she's bored, so I think that maybe she wants to experience the sharp pain just to have contrast with the other dull pain
Mhm.
of the other thing. And so I don't know.
how can you help her with the alcohol problem? She wants to stop drinking, but her partner, she needs to address this with her partner.
She has to let go of her judgment about it,
Mm.
first of all.
Mm-hmm.
She has to let go of her judgment upon him about it,
Mm-hmm.
because he's on his journey with that and he's doing whatever he's doing. And she knows where he ends up and she knows where she ends up. So she has to know that in her heart that she's going to be okay. And that whatever this is, it's just a thing
Mm-hmm.
that she's doing right now, and to let go of all the judgment and the finger pointing and the
Mhm.
attachment and all the fucked up feelings that she has about it.
Mm-hmm.
Drop all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Drop all of that first. And if drinks happen in the meantime of trying to drop that, practice non-attachment.
Right.
Practice letting go. Practice non-judgment.
Just allow it to be. It is what it is in the moment.
Yes.
And it's not right or wrong. It's the duality that's part of the problem for her, the duality of it.
Yeah. It's really about the judgment. The journey,
Mm-hmm.
the drinking will no longer serve her at some point.
Sure.
And the only reason it's still serving her is because she's getting a big lesson from it.
Sure.
And the lesson is about judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And about, what else is it about? Let's see. It's about judgment. It's about discipline, learning to discipline oneself.
Mm-hmm.
And this will come. She'll figure it out.
Yes. Very good. So she wants to know, what is the nature of her connection?
And she's getting allergic to alcohol too.
Right.
More and more. So she won't want to drink it.
So her body is rejecting it.
My body is rejecting it.
Right. And that is the natural process of it sometimes, which is always a blessing. What is the nature of her connection to Flannery? How do they know each other on a soul level?
She's right about them being lovers and being partners. They had a few lifetimes together, and one of them was many thousand years long.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was in another star system.
Was in Sirius.
Mm-hmm. Is he a part of her soul family?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How many lifetimes in Sirius have they had together?
I'm getting like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And have they always been a love partnership?
No.
Mm-hmm.
We've experienced all the family.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, father, sister, brother.
Mm-hmm. And so she wants to know, did she come to help pull him out of the matrix?
Yes, we had an agreement.
Mm-hmm. And so what is their soul purpose together then?
Just raise the vibration, spread the light and the love. Hold the higher frequency for humanity. It's really the basics. I mean, I came to get him because he went in to do the war, have all that experience, and I knew I had to catch him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good.
So I came to catch him, and he's having this hard time he's just so over it because he did 50 or 100 lifetimes here, and I only did 1 or 2. So I guess I have a lot more energy to give to this, so much more. And I'm a little frustrated with him because I'm like, I think that he's being lazy and that he's not doing the work, but he is always doing the work. he lives and breathes in doing the work. He's always doing the work. So even if he's not being physically productive.
I'm going to count to 3. And I'm going to gently touch your forehead. When I count to 3, you're going to go down, 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 deeply into the core of your soul to where the even deeper answers are. 1, 2, 3. Deeper and deeper into your soul. Now, who am I speaking with, please?
Serene.
Who is Serene?
She's me. She's also an aspect of pulled apart, a higher aspect of me that's guiding me.
Thank you. Serene, are you a spirit guide?
Yes.
Thank you. Serene, Jana wants to know about the emotion code. She wants to know how she can fine-tune the technique of the emotion code and offer a more comprehensive healing for others through it. Can you give her some clarity on that, please?
She needs to protect herself better before going into these clearings so that she is able to hold the frequency.
How does she do that?
She can do her clearing and do the clanging white light, golden white light, and do a force field of light, of rainbow light around her, and make sure that the roots of her structure are rooted into the ground, and that she's fully grounded into the earth. And this will help her to hold the frequency for the session.
So she wants to know, is there a complementary healing modality for the emotion code that she can learn and practice?
I see Reiki, but there's something more powerful than Reiki.
There are many more powerful energy healing techniques than Reiki. I practice them.
Yes. She says that you can tell me.
I will share it with her when we're finished. There's many more. Reiki's a good start.
She says that I have the unlocked potential to witness people's blocks in their field and to help pull the energetics of that. Just pull out the knots and they're like little knots and tears and fissures in the field, and to actually literally to help sew things back together and with light.
Very good. So she has some health questions. Her right arm is not healing properly. She fractured it. Can you please, Serene, go down into the right arm and tell me what it is that you're seeing that's keeping it from not healing fully?
There's a black ball of energy that's all tied up in there.
Can you go into that black ball and tell me what it looks like that is?
There's the overuse of what is it? Right? Something to do with the brain hemispheres.
Something to do with the brain hemispheres. Let's go into the brain, please. Go into the brain and tell me what's blocking energy from getting into the right arm.
It's about practicing discipline and structure, and practicing discipline and structure and keeping things really organized, like trying But the more that I work with organization and keeping organized and structured and disciplined, the more that this right arm thing will clear up.
Okay, so can we do some serious cleaning out of that black ball in this moment?
Yes.
Thank you. What color frequency would you like to use to clear out that black ball of blockage?
Orangey yellows.
Okay, go ahead and use orangey yellows. Let me know when it looks clear and clean and open and flowing. All energy, all light should be flowing through that arm.
And it's going in my brain too.
Yeah, can you do a brain tuner, please? Tune the right and left brain hemispheres and clear out the old programs so that they flow together as one God brain. Let me know when the brain tuner has done its job.
So much fog.
Clear out the fog. What color frequency do you need in order to clear out the brain fog?
I see kelp.
Kelp?
I don't know why. I just saw kelp.
So again, I want you to put your ego to the side and allow Serene to come in and do the brain tuner. Serene, am I speaking with Serene? Thank you, Serene. What color frequency are we using to tune the brain?
Dark green.
Dark green, thank you. Go ahead and use that dark green. You let me know when it looks clearer. Good. And Serene, do I have your word, please, that you will continue to clear out the brain fog and any other gunk left in the right arm, especially while she sleeps until it clears completely? Do I have your word?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Serene. Chronic neck pain. Serene, can you go into the neck and find out what's going on there in the throat chakra?
She needs to sing.
She needs to sing. Anything in particular, or just whatever makes her feel passionate?
She just needs to sing.
And does she sing enough? No.
She needs to find a way to sing more.
Sing more. Very good. So can we please clear out the throat chakra now so that she can sing more easily and she's motivated to sing more easily? What color frequency would you like to use in the throat chakra to open it?
Aqua blue.
Very good. Use that aqua blue frequency and let me know when it looks nice and open.
This is going to take some work.
So can you continue working on that while we focus on more aspects of the body?
Yes.
Thank you. Continue that aqua blue light. Let's go down to the feet, the fungus at the feet, Serene. What's going on with the fungus in the feet?
She hasn't been feeling safe enough to ground into the earth.
So will walking barefoot on the earth help with some of that?
Yes.
What else will help with that?
Stop eating cheese.
Yeah, diet's going to play a big role in that as well. Stop eating cheese, sugar. Sugar will also create it as well.
I don't eat sugar other than alcohol, but I guess I get my fix.
Yeah. Yeah, alcohol and cheese will do it. Anything else, Serene, that might be causing the foot fungus?
She needs to ground into the 5D earth grid and feel safe there.
Ground into the 5D earth grid. Very good. Very good. Continue working on the throat chakra, please, Serene.
The treatments are working, though, but it will be accelerated if she works on grounding several times a day, not just in the morning, but she should probably take several moments in the day to make sure that she's grounded and to practice grounding.
Very good.
Maybe some Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. That's very helpful. Very powerful.
Maybe just find the grounding movements of Tai Chi.
Very good. Now, she's having issues with her uterus. While you're working on the throat chakra, Serene, can you go down into the uterus, the sacral chakra? Let's find out first why the painful menstruation. Does she have fibroids?
She has fibroids.
Okay. Is that why she's not getting pregnant?
No.
Why isn't she getting pregnant?
She doesn't have any contracts to get pregnant.
Is there no soul there for her to have a child? That's what she feels.
She's right about that.
Okay. Will she have a child at all in her life?
She will.
A little bit later?
After the flash.
After the flash. Will she adopt a child or will she birth a child?
She'll birth many children. They'll be the healing machines. Heal her of anything.
Tell me about the healing machines, because I've learned about those as well.
When she gets extracted to her mothership, and she's in the, I don't want to say the word quarantine, because it's not like that. It's more like a time of healing. And
like an incubation?
Incubation. It's like a chamber where you get all this things that you need, like the upgrades and the healing and all the different stuff. And sorting out and pulling out the bad memories and purifying them. And all of that happens in these chambers. But these healing machines, they exist on all the different extraterrestrial ships, and they function in different ways for different races.
So she wants to know, why has she developed fibroids?
She thought that she needed to not have children.
So she developed them as a blockage herself?
Yes.
Okay, so she wants to know how she heals them.
I'm not getting anything.
So let's use a color frequency to clear out the sacral chakra. What color frequency would you like to use?
Red.
Red, very good. Use that deep, bright red frequency and clear out all of those blockages. in the uterus?
She said just to meditate on it and fill it with light.
Mm-hmm.
Fill the chamber with light. Fill the womb space with light.
Mm-hmm. How many times a day should she do this?
She should do this daily for 3 months.
Okay, daily for 3 months. Very good. Well, you let that red frequency start to really light it up there, and you let me know when it feels more open.
She didn't go on birth control because she didn't want the Western medicine.
That was very wise. She can do seed cycling.
And she wanted to experience the pain of the menstruation.
Mm.
Yeah. Something about the pain brings clarity.
Mm-hmm.
She was wondering why.
Mm-hmm. Pain does bring clarity. Brings us deeper within ourselves.
It makes her stop. She's too busy, keeping herself busy with all the things. She needs to allow herself to exist and just be.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the period slows her down to a point where she's incapable of doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why she facilitates this pain for herself every month.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So while you're clearing the sacral chakra, the uterus, and the throat chakra, can you please check within her body to find out, make sure that there aren't any dark energies in there that are trying to control her mind, trying to control her body?
Yes, I do see that man from India.
Mm-hmm. Where is he?
But it's not, it's just more of a, it's not one person. It's many.
Mm-hmm. Where are they? Are they in the body or in the field outside
They're
the
just
body?
in the field.
Okay. So,
Because I have so much light and they want to be.
so they're attached to the field?
They want to be in the light in the field.
Mm-hmm. So let's let the man from India come forward and speak. You're going to have to lend him your mouth in order to, so we can talk with him. Bring him into the mouth for a moment and allow him to speak. You there, man from India. What is your name, please? Tell me the first thing that comes through.
Neil.
Neil. Neil, what are you doing in the energetic field of Jaina?
Feels like home.
Feels like home. Do you know the soul of Jaina? Is she somebody that you've had a lifetime with before?
Yes, we were on Sirius together.
You're on Sirius together. Neil, what happened to your body?
It's there in India still, but it's also with her.
Mm-hmm. So is this a fragment of your soul that's attached to her in the field?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're holding her back and you're impeding upon her free will. So did you know that? She has free will, so do you, and you cannot just enter somebody's auric field without being invited. Did you know that, Neil?
No.
So that's universal law. We have free will here. She does not want you on her field.
But we're from the same place.
That's wonderful that you're from the same place. Right now you're from planet Earth. You're here. And in this now, she needs her auric field clean. She needs to be able to live her life fully for herself without any attachments, without anyone piggybacking on her. So you're going to need to go back to your body fully. You ready to let go?
Yes.
Because you're going to have a much better quality of life when you're fully in your body. And
it's too hard and painful there.
She's also having hard and painful life. There's nothing glorious about her life whatsoever. There's nothing interesting about her life, and you're going to have a much more interesting life being fully in your body and living there, because now you've experienced a higher frequency. So you're going to bring that frequency back to your own body. How does that feel, Neil?
That feels good.
You're going to find the light within your body, Neil, because now you're in a much higher frequency, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. So what do you want to say to Jaina for siphoning her energy and dimming her own light?
It was not my intention.
No, it wasn't your intention, was it?
I'm sorry.
And Jaina, what do you have to say to Neil for piggybacking on you? Do you forgive him?
I forgive you.
Very good. So Neil, detach all of your cords from her field, take them all out, and let us know when you've removed all of your cords. You let us know when they're removed.
Done.
Thank you. And Neil, we're going to return you back to your body fully in India with a much higher, vibrant, source light frequency, Neil, because Neil, you are light. You are source. So Neil, I want you to go into your own heart now and tell me when you see your own light in your heart. Good. I want you to make it grow big. Let it go really, really big, 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 big. Until it takes over your entire soul and you feel amazing. How do you feel, Neil?
Better, I guess.
You are better, Neil, because you are light. And now I want you to return to your own body. And you let us know when you've arrived at your own body, brighter and lighter and feeling better. Let us know when you're there.
I can't get into my body. It's shut down.
What's shut down about your body, Neil?
Too much pain.
So Neil, we're going to call in Archangel Michael for assistance. Aquamarine blue light is what Archangel Michael is. Do you see Archangel Michael, Neil?
Yes.
Very good. Archangel Michael is going to help you, Neil, to send your body a lot of light to raise its frequency. Do you see it raising its frequency, Neil? Light is power blasting into your body.
Yes.
Very good. And as your body opens up more and more and more, as this frequency rises and rises, your body is opening up for you. And your body opens up so much, Neil, that you're able to come into it fully and sit within the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is expanding and expanding. And the light is moving throughout your body now and flowing. How does it feel, Neil?
Feels better.
It's so much better.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Neil. And Archangel Michael is going to stay with you, Neil, to help you to open your body even more. Thank you, Neil. May the light of the universe always be within you, and may you always experience it without you. And let's disconnect. And I would like to talk with Serene again. Am I speaking with Serene? Thank you. Serene, what other entities are in the auric field?
His name's Muna.
Muna.
But maybe we can do the entire house in Dorka that I stayed at too, because there's a bunch of men there.
All right, we're going to take them all and bring them all up. Do they
But
all?
Muna's maybe a bigger one, but maybe it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We're going to gather them all up. Muna and all of the entities that piggyback
From the house in Dorka.
Yes. We're going to bring them to the light, because the light is what they're looking for. They're looking for light. And so Muna and all of the entities that are sitting in Jaina's auric field, I want to talk with all of you, and you can speak through her mouth. Do you all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. You do not belong in Jaina's auric field. There is a much bigger and brighter light that is source. And Archangel Michael is here right now to assist us. Tell me when you all see Archangel Michael.
They're laughing.
Mm-hmm.
They say, we don't deal with this Archangel Michael.
Yeah, well, Archangel Michael is here, and that's who we work with. And Archangel Michael is an aspect of me. I am a human form of Archangel Michael. I am a protector of light workers. So you all can laugh at me, but I'm far more powerful than you are. And so is Archangel Michael. So tell me when you see the aquamarine blue frequency of Archangel Michael.
Okay.
Thank you. Now you're all going to take out all of your attachments out of Jaina's auric field. And you let me know when all of those cords and attachments are removed.
I have to do it with all of the factory owners and
They all have to take them out simultaneously. They all have to take them out simultaneously.
Okay, I'm gonna gather them up too. I'll just gather them all up.
Gather them all up.
One's in Jaipur. All the men. Okay, it's happening.
Good. You let me know when all of those cords are released.
There's so many.
Keep detaching them.
It's like, wow.
Take them all out.
Why did I let so many of them attach to me and not me?
Well, that's what happens with sensitives who are very powerful.
Like a big wave. Wash them out. That's done.
Very good. Now, all of you, now that you've removed all of your attachments, what do you have to say to Jaina for holding her back from living fully and truly from her
Oh,
heart?
she's just a woman. She's like a goat.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
It's that mentality, and the other women are like property.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I want you all to give yourselves to Archangel Michael, who's going to bring you back to the light. Back to the light. And Jaina, what do you have to say to all of these males that have attached themselves to you? Do you forgive them?
Always.
Very good. And crew of males, please let us know when you've returned to the light.
they're very sad. I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm. Let us know when you return to the light. Very good. May the light of the universe always shine from within you to without you. Thank you so much. And let's disconnect from them. All right. I'd like to speak with Serene again. May I speak with Serene, please?
Yes.
Thank you. How does the auric field look now, Serene?
It's good.
Good. Can you amplify its frequency now? Amplify it even more so that she feels more comfortable in her body and more protected by her own light. Let me know when that's been amplified. Very good. Now, Serene, do you have any universal messages that any light workers, any star seeds can benefit from? Anything that you want to share with those about this time that we're in, about what is coming?
Don't be over eager for the final outcome, because all is in a process. And divine timing must unfold naturally, and from one thing to the next, and you can't force it. And knowing the answers to everything of what is unfolding is going to inhibit your journey.
Wisely spoken. Anything else, Serene, that comes forward?
Just breathe and be.
Just breathe and be. Thank you. Thank you so much, Serene. A little bit, make sure that we're in it. Good. Oh, you had your first quantum hypnosis session.
It's true.
How was that for you?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
We asked all your questions.
We did.
We did. We asked all your questions. Do you feel like you had your answers?
Yeah. It was good to get the confirmation, because I already knew a lot of the answers, but I was
We always do.
like having that doubt.
Yeah. So you so you've had past life regression before. And so you immediately went into the life that you did the last time you had past life regression. But your ego came in and was frustrated with that. Did you remember that?
It was like, I don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there, but you learned the reason why you went there. Yeah.
I was like, damn it, I'm here again. This life sucks.
But, okay, so you learned you've had 2 lives on Earth. You've had 2. You had a Greek life as a male, and you had the 1940s life as the female. And they were both very painful for you.
Yeah.
And so do you remember why it is that you chose those 2 lives and why they were so painful?
Because I needed to have because I was trying to come in and not collect a lot of karma, basically. And I just needed to have a really 2 really painful lives to really get my feet wet with the whole human experience thing.
It's not easy to be in 3D human.
Yeah,
it's painful to be 3D human.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, what's the most painful lifetime we can choose? And that, being a Black woman in the 1940s with an abusive dad.
The father who is hurting her on all levels.
Yeah.
That was tough, but then you learned that the soul of that father was one of your relationships in this life.
Yes.
How was that for you to learn about that?
It was a little shocking, because I didn't realize that they were the same person. Yeah.
I saw that in your face. It was like, wow. That's why I said, yep, it's the first thing is always the correct thing.
Yeah.
Take that in. That's a reality.
And
Absolutely.
that was a really hard relationship. So I was like, oh, Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I
You
felt
learned about
really
yourself.
trapped in that relationship too in some
Yeah.
ways, and owned and controlled.
Owned and controlled. You were playing that out still so that you could bring it into this life. Yeah. So you learned you are a part of the Syrian High Council. But you knew that already on a lot of levels.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm. And then you also, because you wanted to know about your star family.
Mm-hmm.
So you learned about your star family. You learned that your current relationship, you are your star family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you learned that you've had Andromedan and Arcturian connections, but that also seemed a little confusing to you too. But yet it was like, but it's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
I don't know
is
what
there.
that was. Maybe in the next session we'll uncover that some more.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was just serious because it was like I went through the whole thing of like, it was a rock and a bird and all the things,
You
but
did.
just in Sirius. Or
You
whatever.
went through a lot of that, and yeah, and you dolphin and whale, aquatic beings. So yeah, I mean that was really powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have. I mean, as starseeds, we've had lots of different experiences, especially. And then you wanted to know if you're part of the Galactic Federation of Light, which you are.
Yeah. I think most starseeds are.
Most of us are. I am. And so what do? We explore other star systems in order to learn about ourselves, and we also offer help.
I've done a lot of exploration. I know that.
Yeah.
So even though I'm from Sirius, I feel like I definitely traveled a lot.
You have traveled a lot, and that's what we do. We explore, and we also offer help if we're allowed to.
Maybe that's why I travel so much this life.
A lot of starseeds want to travel a lot. It makes us feel like we're back on the ship and we're traveling a lot. I know I have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the way it is for me. I want to travel. I want to meet other cultures. I want to learn about other people. I want to learn about other animals, other birds in those areas. What do people eat? That's all coming from our need to explore other star systems.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I truly feel that is why Source created us as souls, those of us that are the explorers of, the galaxies, is because we are here to just learn and to accumulate knowledge. It's all about accumulating knowledge.
Yes.
That's why all of this is, we want more knowledge. That's how we expand, is through knowledge.
Yes.
So, were there any surprises for you?
I'm still processing it. I don't know. The Cyrus thing was a surprise for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some really wise nuggets in there. Your universal message at the end for the light workers was awesome. Don't try to get to the big thing, the end, the outcome. It's about the process. This is a process. We came here for the process.
Yes. I'm always trying to jump ahead.
Yeah, I feel like we all are.
And it's because it hurts so much.
That's
why we want to jump. We're like, when's it not going to hurt so much?
When are we going to be supported? When is this going to be easier? It will, and we are going to see it in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to experience the change in this lifetime. I know that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did not come here to experience New World Order, and that's it.
Yeah, no. I don't think this New World Order, this is not part of, because it's like on a quantum level, like all the way out through the galaxy, everything is like changing and moving into a higher vibration. So it's just like, it doesn't make sense that this old control system that's been in place for thousands of years, it's got to break apart.
It does.
And if it's breaking apart, what does that mean? It means that like the banking systems and all the structures of our society are going to be shifting and have to be shifting. They have to. They
can't, and they are shifting. It's going to look bad before it clears up. It's like anything. It's like when we're healing a wound, we have to go into the infection to get out the pus, and it looks gross.
Yeah.
But everything underneath it is healing already and pushing that up and out.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're experiencing right now.
In Portland, there's just like all this, it's like the pus.
It's dark here.
Shitty energy is just pulling up.
It's tough. It's tough here in the Pacific Northwest.
So programmed and so afraid.
And there's so many light workers here. What you talked about with the archonic grids with the Pacific Northwest,
I've always experienced that ever since I came traveling through here in order to scout it to move here back in 1995. I was just like, there's a lot of dark threads going on here. What's up with that? And I heard, change it. And so I've been spending more than 25 years just focusing on breaking it up and bringing in the light. Traveling all throughout Oregon and Washington State.
Wow.
Just to break it up deliberately, consciously. Calling in the guides, calling in as many beings of light as I possibly can. It's tough because it's thick grids, thick, dark grids.
Yeah.
So when you said that about the archonic grids, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. It's so true.
That's true. And then there's a lot of dark portals too. Like I was at my friend's house out in Southwest, actually close to here. And I went to sleep and I just saw this big, I was like, what is going on? I was like trying to shut it down. And I was like, how can we work on that? And they're like, oh, we're going to work on it. We are working on it.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is messed up.
It is. All of it is. And it's been going on for so long. And that's why it's like we were called to come here. I have to go there. I don't know. I mean,
I was
same thing
so
with you.
mad because I'm like, okay, because I had traveled nonstop, like my entire, like up until 31, 32.
Yeah.
I'm like, not even living out of a suit, traveling and seeing the world. And then I'm in Portland for 8 years, 9 years. I'm like, why am I still here? And I'm like, and then I kept getting the message, you're supposed to be here. You have to be here. This is your mission. And I'm like, oh.
That's what I got. I mean, I was shown moving up here before I did, and I'm like, what? I was shown why I was going to move here. I was shown Portland, downtown Portland, I was suddenly on an old trolley cable car. And I didn't have a life here in Portland before I moved here. I haven't had another lifetime here in Portland.
Yeah.
I was shown myself, my modern day self, in this old 19 teens and 20s cable car, trolley car setting. And all these people are just riding on it, just kind of asleep. And I'm just bright and vibrating color on this car. And I'm like, I'm asking my higher self, what is this? And I heard, this is your next mission. And I said, no. My higher self said, this is what we have to do. And I said, how long do I have to stay? And I heard, it's going to be longer than you're going to want it to be. But when it's over, you're going to completely understand what it was all for.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in my 26th year now. And I'm like, and I've tried to get out twice.
Yeah.
I literally tried to move to South America twice. And I kept getting pulled back. Because my kids pull me back, because my kids are here. And I'm like, is it done? It's almost done. It's almost done for me. It's almost done for you. It's almost finished.
Another year. I'm thinking this is like,
that's it.
This is my last year.
I know. I'm doing the same thing.
And it's not, I mean, like, I think that my personal mission is going to be in the next,
we're coming down to the end of it.
4 to 5 months.
A lot of us, I have so many light workers that are here in Portland, a part of my life coaching group. And we're all just like, are we almost done? Is it almost over? Why am I here? I'm like, you're here to hold the light. We're here to hold the light because this is a really, 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 there's not supposed to be the level of darkness and rain in this area. We know it. We know it's unnatural for it to be this dark and this rainy in this area.
Yeah.
This area is really beautiful. When the sun is shining, as it is now, it's a really beautiful area. But even when the sun is shining, there's a darkness to it. And that's when you go, that is an old grid. So at least we know.
The old grid is
it's almost done.
dissolving.
It's dissolving. It really is. It's almost done. So would you recommend this to others?
Yes, absolutely.
What would you recommend about it?
I think everybody should get in touch with their higher selves and, be able to have a deeper connection with their soul family and their guides and their angels and know what that's about. And also just energetically figuring out why you have holding certain patterns in your body and pains and whatnot is really good to see and recognize.
It is. Well, and we got rid of a crew of old masculine out of your auric field too. So that was helpful. Did you feel that? I mean, was that something that you were really experiencing? Releasing entities?
Well, you know what?
Field?
They were so hidden because I've been working on clearing my field like relentlessly. So I mean they thought they had the right to be there. I just didn't even know they were there.
They thought they had the right. I sensed them when when we talked on the phone, I was like, she's being blocked. They were blocking you. They're the ones that were
There
blocking
was a
you.
whole brigade of men.
It was a brigade of males. When you walked in, I felt them all around. And you were so sparkly in your auric field all around you, but I just felt them attached. They're just like travelers, just hanging on.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having fun. No. You don't get to do that. So yeah, we cleared them.
She's just a woman. We can just possess
We
her.
could just possess her. No, well, that's done now. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well, if you would like to have a Healing Through the Heart hypnosis session with me, please go to my website. It's in the description box down below, SoniaWilderWellness.com. And when it's your time, it aligns just like it did for you. It aligned and it finally came through.
Yep.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. So powerful.
It was. That was so good.